Good evening. It's good to see everybody here this evening. I'm going to call on Matt Lohman, who's going to do our invocation. Matt.
Thank you, Randy. If you will, please pray with me. Lord Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. Father, we thank you so much for the rain and a little bit cooler weather today. And Father, we thank you as well that you allowed school to start off so well, just putting our teachers and our administrators and all of our staff in place, and Father, just providing the children for us to be able to educate. Lord, we just want to continue to hold them all up. Lord, as the educators do their job, Father, just give them your guidance, your wisdom, your grace and mercy. And Father, as the families come together, Father, we just pray for your leadership in the families and guidance and help in them as well. Help them to be able to learn well, Lord, and be receptive to the information being given, and keep them all safe and in your arms, Lord. Father, just continue to help us, Lord, as we try to function as a large district, just following your will and your way and continuing to please you in all that we do, say, and think. And Father, we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Matt. I'm going to call us to order at this time. First item is roll call. Matt Sampson.
Present.
Tori Turnbow.
Present.
Matt Lohman.
Present.
Dr. Kim Tinius.
Present.
Chad Mans.
Present.
Randy Long. Present. That leads us to presentations. Jane?
Our spotlight student tonight is from Taft Elementary School, and I'm going to let Mr. Kappas tell us about her and introduce her.
Good evening, and thank you for having us. This is Miss Mia Letty. She has some community activities, including American Heritage Girls and Oakwood Kids Church. Her hobbies include knitting, drawing, soccer, video games, and playing outdoors. Her school activities include after-school sports and choir, and she's on our leadership team. Mia's always done her best at holding fast to what she knows to be the right thing to do, even when it's not easy or convenient. Mia is a kind, loving, and friendly to everyone she meets, and does her best to shine God's light in her community. She has also been selected by our staff to be one of the 4 student leaders of one of our houses we have, so she'll be leading 1/4 of our school population with her house, which is House of Amistad, which represents the House of Friendship, which that fits perfectly for her. So this is Mia Letty.
Please stand.
Colors, let's input. Carry, colors. Forward, arch. Present, arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms.
Don't go anywhere. I want to take your picture.
Randy, I think show what you're doing there. Great job, Mia. Well,
Come over here, darling. Come over here. That's all right.
Sorry about that. I got to wake up and do my job.
Perfect, thank you. Stay right there. Mom wants a picture. You did so good.
great job, Mia.
Makes you a little nervous to get up in front of all these people. Our next recognition, I'm going to invite Miss Jamie Jarnigan and 2 of her teachers up. I'm going to let Miss Jamie tell us about the Tower Garden School of the Year and other things.
Good evening. So Hayes has been the recipient of Healthy Schools Grant, and we've been a Healthy Schools award winner for this. This will be our 4th year. And Coach Darling has led that initiative for our school and received a lot of really amazing things. And a few years ago, she got a hydroponic tower garden that we have in our building. And last year, Mrs. Brindley and her took that on together, and they grew spinach and lettuce and things, and then the kids will eat that at school. And this summer, she went to the conference, and we were awarded Tower Garden School of the Year for Oklahoma. So they won that for our building. So.
Congrats, ladies. Congrats, Hayes.
And our last group recognition tonight is the Enid High School Concert Choir under the direction of Matt Johnson and Riley Faulkner, and I got his name right here. And so I'm going to let Matt come and tell about their recent award and what they did this weekend.
Thank you so much for having us tonight. This weekend, while they're getting all over here, we got to go sing for the Oklahoma State School Board Association opening General Assembly on Saturday, and the kids did a killer job. We had 9 of the kids go sing, and they did an awesome job. And it was an early morning, but it was a lot of fun, and we got a lot of compliments. So it was a good time. This award is through our Oklahoma Music Educators Association. Every year, groups can apply to be an honor group, and what it is, you submit your recordings from state contests, and they're put up and judged against all the other submitted entries, and they select they're blind auditions too, so they just rank them, and then they select the top. Depending on, they have 2 choral concerts, so it's usually anywhere between 4 to 6 groups to go compete. And we actually got this award last year. We were here around this time, but the day we were supposed to perform was the snow day. So they allowed us to just resubmit, because there's a 3-year window. Once you get it, you can't apply for 3 years. So they allowed us to resubmit, and we got selected again. So we are super excited. This year too, Stillwater High School was selected, and since they're so close, we're going to do a concert before that honor concert here in Enid, and I'll send an invite, so if you guys want to see it. And Stillwater's going to come over here and sing with us, and then we're going to go to Stillwater to do one over there. So we'll kind of keep you updated there. I'm going to start with these names here. We have about half the group with us, and we are super excited about them. We have Peyton Abernathy, Gracie Atkinson, Jarrett Barleen, Grace Blunk. Oh yeah, wave behind me. Smile. Sorry, Jamie Chapman, Joseph Deering, Lily Emerson, Josie Hines, Isaac Jones, Hayden Casper, Gabe Lance, Antavius Lopez, Clara Lusby, Harrison Lyon, Cade Morris, Beth Pinson, Meredith Plummer, Alexia Richard, Zach Ritchie, Jesus Jimenez, Shelby Stitt, Henry Stever, and Walter Theriot are with us here tonight. Did I get everyone? Awesome. And so this is, go ahead and give them a round of applause. And I just wanted to thank the co-teachers who are with me tonight, and Riley Faulkner, and our new vocal teacher for the district who's teaching at Longfellow and Emerson, Mr. Daniel DeLeach. So thank you all. Last year's group won the award. This year's group has to go prove it, so we'll let you guys know when the concert is. So thank you all so much.
I do want to echo what Mr. Johnson said at the OSSBA conference Saturday. You guys were phenomenal. It was awesome. You had that whole place rocking. Dr. Tinius was there as well. So great job. Very proud of you guys.
Thank you. Congratulations, choir. Very proud. And our last recognition tonight is Mr. Reverend Joe Blackwood. If Joe would come on up here. Yeah, Joe's not used to sitting in the audience, but we want to say thank you, Joe, for 6 years of serving Enid Public Schools on our board. And Dr. Darrow, anything else you want to add?
Joe, Reverend Joe, thank you so much for everything you've done. You've been a steady support and been a part of so many successes over the last 6 years. And disappointed to lose you, but we understand as well. And just thought we'd take an opportunity to say thank you for being a support and a good servant for the past 6 years. So thank you. Let's give him one more round of applause.
Next item is audience to visitors, and we have none. And that leads us to the superintendent's reports. Dr. Darrow?
Thank you, President Long. Just as we do every month, we're going to starting off with a strategic plan. We have several directors for the district that are here this evening. First up is going to be Richard Schramm. He's going to be representing the Child Nutrition Department, and everyone should have a handout from Mr. Schramm. I want to talk a little bit about child nutrition real quick. Child nutrition plays a very vital part of what we do every day. This past weekend, as I just said, I was at the OSSBA conference, and I was informed that, unfortunately, the state of Oklahoma ranks #1 in childhood hunger. And we also rank #1 in children with food insecurity. And this is a real battle. This is a real battle across the state, and it's a real battle in our community. And I'm so thankful for the CEP program that we have. The CEP program, as you guys know, this is year 2 for us. This past year afforded over $5.5 million worth of free breakfast and free lunch. And I'm saying all this just to prop Richard up a little bit. I mean, it's a very important part of our school day. The CEP program makes a tremendous difference for our families and our students. So saying all that, Richard, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you go through this handout.
I can see here. Good evening, board members, Dr. Darrow. Last year I was going to touch on your CEP thing there you mentioned. That was kind of in some of my notes here, but we did do great this year, or last year, with our CEP numbers. We're up, actually, I had a meal count on there. We were up by 56,000 meals overall for the year from the year before, so with this free program. So and our transition from the paid meals to the CEP, we didn't lose any revenue. So I know in the years before we tried to do it, but it wasn't going to work out. So we finally got to get on that, get that program going. So another thing that was implemented this year through the government, state, I guess, was called the Buy American Plan, which we've always been on that. They just implemented a new tracking system so that we have to now track that in a basically an Excel program. At least 51% of the product that you're purchasing has to be made from local sources. So now they've started making us track that. We have to take every invoice. We have to enter all the information, the things that you have to research and find out what's made in America, what's not. You have to get information from all the manufacturers to find out what is and what isn't. You got to keep track of all that now. We have to enter all the dates, invoices, what have you, so they can track that. You have to have a letter on file as well from the manufacturers that are made in America products. So there's a lot that went into that this year. We've always supposed to have done that in the past, but they never really were firm on it, and you never really made you track it. And now last year they started that. They started out with thresholds, and this is just for your food and milk products. The threshold for your stuff for the first 3 years, you can't exceed 10%, and they go off of your total food purchase dollars. So you can't exceed 10% of that with non-American products for the first 3 years, and it goes to 8% after that for the next year, and then they go down to 5%. And this school year we came in at 4%, so we're well under that. So I think we're going to be good moving forward. Food costs, some of the food costs have increased this year, as they always do. A few examples, some of the sausage products up like $5 per case. Ranch dressing is up $6 a case. Beef crumbles, which is a big one that has gone up over the several years, is $9 a case. That's like beef crumbles we use, which is like ground beef that we don't have to cook. It's already pre-cooked, which may save a lot of time. $7 on a case of hamburger patties. Canned fruit items up $6 a case, some of them again this year. And that's not all the items have increased that much. Some have dropped a little bit, but that was just some of the significant larger ones that have gone up. Total food cost for last year was about $2.5 million. So moving on to a few summer projects that we did this year. Down at the central kitchen, we had a walk-in freezer in there that the floor was really bad in. Has been for years. We was able to get that torn out, a new cement floor put in. It was really kind of hazardous for the ladies going in and out. Safety hazard for tripping on, and they have tall racks they have to roll in and out, so keep those from tipping those over. The big one we did was the Glenwood kitchen remodel out there. They had a galley style kitchen out there. It was real confined space. They had a serving window and walls blocking everything off. Wasn't much room to turn around in there actually. Between breakfast and lunch last year, their numbers, they were serving about 375 a day. So it was a lot of meals going out for not much space to work with. So we tore out the whole wall, removed the serving window, divided all of it, raised the ceiling, made it all look even across the cafeteria. Added a new storage room in there for them as well, mop sink. Some of the equipment that was purchased for it was a new silverware counter, a new 3-well serving bar to go on the serving line as well. And put in a new 3-compartment sink, a bottle filler station for the kids to get water there. Hand sink, got new holding cabinet, shelving for the storeroom. And then in the dining room itself, they was able to get we got a new flooring with the copperhead coating floor, which looks really nice in there. And then they tiled up the walls halfway around in the dining room, or halfway up all the way around in the dining room, which made it look really nice in there. Equipment cost $32,000, and everything else combined was about $112,000. And I was excited for the ladies to come back and the students as well to see the nice kitchen. And I don't know what that handout, if the picture came out, did they give you the picture that was on the back? I didn't have a real good before picture to send for the before, but anyway, it was a nice change for them. And then, like I already went over the CEP stuff. Staffing was a lot better this year, a lot more manageable. We only had to fill 9 spots at the beginning of school year instead of the 20 was the year before. And we actually had a lot of applicants this year, so we did pretty well getting everything filled and got a good staff most all the schools and over at the kitchen. So, and just looking forward to a good year this year.
Awesome. Board members, any question for Richard? Well, thank you again.
Right,
Appreciate it. It's a very important role, and appreciate you keeping the kids fed every day, Richard. Thank you. Okay, next up, I believe, is Chief Priest. Chief Priest is the next one up. You guys know Chief's been our priest for several years. I'm going to turn it over to him.
So we'll start with apologizing for the commotion. I hadn't seen Hannah Brindley in a few years. She was a 21 graduate with my son Blake, so it was good to see her. So sorry about that. I don't have a lot to say. I like where we're at as a school district. Obviously, we're always moving towards doing the best we can to ensure the safety and security of students, staff, visitors. And, I'm not sitting here telling you we've got it perfected, we're done, but the things we're doing, I'm pleased with, and we're going to continue to do those things. There's 7 of us, the same 7 that were employed last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, we're all back. That's kind of what helps. I've supplied a handout, how many years we have here and total experience in our training hours. On any given day, we're as qualified as any shift of any law enforcement agency in the county. So we have a lot of really good connections with all the other law enforcement in the area, and it's the same as me. My wife works for the district. 3 of my 5 children work for the district. The 2 that don't are still in college. My 2 granddaughters are here at the district. This time next year, my 5 grandchildren will be here at the district. And where that kind of comes in is all these people I've listed, their wives, their husbands, their daughters, their sons, their grandchildren, they're invested in this school district for the safety of everybody. So that's very important. I will give a shout out to Chief Nick John. I'm very, very pleased and happy that he is now the Chief of Police with the Enid Police Department. That is huge for not only us as a school district, but in my opinion, as a community. So I've known him a long time. Great individual. Very happy that he's where he's at. Basically what we do, you guys know what we do. We patrol all the campuses. We run DARE, we answer questions, we show up, and we do the best we can to help everybody out. But that's about it. I mean,
No, we all appreciate the job we do, Chief Priest, and all 7 of you listed down there, like you said, that is very valuable to have the institutional knowledge and to have retention among your police officers, which speaks volumes. I think that you guys are working so well together and support each other too. Board members, any questions for Chief Priest? Tori, do you want to ask about the DARE program? I know it got mentioned.
I'm not going to ask anything, but I'm going to make a comment. One of my children, if she's watching, which she very well could be, and she'll want to hurt me when I get home. We were having a discussion about if somebody offers you drugs, do you take them, and vapes and things like that? And she looked at me and she said, "Of course not, Mom. Don't you know that I won my DARE contest?" So DARE is important. She's in middle school now. It's still holding on. So we need the program to stay strong. It works.
well, I will say this. I believe this is our 5th or 6th year, definitely I think our 5th year of teaching DARE, and what we've noticed, so 5 years ago they started as 5th graders, and last year they were 9th graders, and this year they're sophomores. Our number of reports that we do year to year and the level of escalation just keeps going down and down and down. And I think that has to do with relationships. They know us. We can come in. We were talking before the meeting. The kids know we're not there to hurt them. We're not there to do anything. We're just there to help and protect them. And so you don't see a lot of things that maybe you saw 6 years ago, 7 years ago when we first kind of started this journey. So I'm very proud of that.
Appreciate the job you and your staff do.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Chief Priest. Okay, next up, I believe, is Jeff Herbal for the IT. Jeff's got a little handout as well right behind Chief Priest there. And he's also going to talk about the Go Guardian Parent app, which we talked about at the last board meeting as well. So I'll let Jeff walk through this handout.
Good evening. Wanted to touch on some of the projects that we did this summer. Our large project was our teacher Chromebook swap out. So we removed desktops throughout classrooms throughout the district. We installed docking stations. If you look at the bottom, by the numbers, we did 418 classroom swap outs. 418 teachers so far have been given, they were given a Chromebook and a docking station to connect their Chromebook to their interactive board, whatever that is in their classroom. As part of that refresh of technology, over this last school year, we replaced all of our classroom phones in our elementary classrooms. That those phones are, we deployed them in 2010 when we started rolling out classroom phones and using them as our intercoms and that type of stuff. And 15 years in a classroom of use, they were starting to wear out. We were having a lot of breakage on our phones. So we've gotten all of our elementaries now replaced with newer phones. Should last us another 10, 15 years in the classroom. Installing new line TVs. There's a big distinction between a new line interactive board and a TV. Last school year, we rolled out interactive boards to our elementary. This summer, in classrooms in the elementary that did not get boards, got TVs. Those are new line, same size. Most of them are all the same size of what's in the other classrooms. They're just not interactive. So those are in areas where we thought they didn't need or weren't using interactive, but they needed a presentation option in the classroom. So we did 76 at our elementary. We've done 26 at Waller in conjunction with some of their remodel they did this summer. And this school year, in the fall, we'll be replacing new line or smart boards with new line TVs at the rest of our secondary schools. Was asked to talk a little bit about screen time. Met with Kristen Jones and we sat and talked about screen time. I know it's been a big topic, kids spending too much time on technology. And what I would say is our district has a very good balance. We looked at numbers. Early childhood, it's about 10 minutes a day. Elementary is about 30. Middle school's 80, and high school's about 120 minutes. That's throughout our 7-period day. You know, that's to say our kids are not on technology 100% of every class period every day. Some use it a lot in a classroom. Another teacher may use it a little in a classroom. So on average, it's about 120 minutes for high school kids. That does not take into account how they use it outside of school. But our teachers do have GoGuardian. We've had GoGuardian for all 11 years that we've had our one-to-one. One thing I hear about the complaints about students using technology is that they're playing games and they're watching YouTube videos instead of paying attention in class. GoGuardian allows our teachers to control what students do in their classroom. So if a teacher is teaching on a topic and they want that student to follow along on their device, a teacher can lock down the classroom devices to a particular website or a video or whatever they're instructing on. That way the kids aren't doing something else. They can't play games. They can't do anything else during that time. I don't think a lot of schools have that because just everything I've heard is the kids are running wild in classrooms. If they had a management system like GoGuardian or something like that, they can control what's going on in the classroom. And like I said, we've had that in place for 10 years. GoGuardian has a parent app. I wanted to talk about that. We are rolling that out officially tonight across the district. It will allow our parents to control student use of our devices outside of school hours. I know over the years I've heard it's a district device. I can't tell them they can't use it. Well, yes, you can. You're the parent, but now we're giving you the technology to where you can actually turn off the device when they get home. I know over the years we've had some kids, we've seen them up late at night on their devices. This will allow the parent to set a bedtime, tell you that device gets turned off at your bedtime and you can't use it until you go back to school or whenever you get up. So it gives the parents a little more control at home of a district device. They can't control the device during school hours, but they can control it outside of school hours and when that student's at home. So they can say what they watch, they can say whether they use it or not. So it gives the parent a lot of control. And we'll be sending out information tonight about that to our parents. So hopefully they'll embrace that and be able to use it more and feel more comfortable about what their students are doing on our technology devices. And the last thing, I just want to go over the key focuses of my department. Safety for all staff and students is still paramount. My department makes sure that our cameras are working, our access control system is in place. Making sure our buildings are safe and secure is number one priority for my department, just like it is for Dr. Darrow. We want to make sure our students feel safe and know that they are safe when they're in our buildings. We also keep looking at technology and new technology, new initiatives, AI in the classroom, how that is used keeps advancing. We've set guidance and structure for that in our district. I think our policies and procedures are good. They're really sound. We've researched that. We have good pedagogy into what we're using AI for. And we'll be able to match the laws that are coming forth in Oklahoma to make sure students are on task and finding the right use of AI. Third is data privacy. I've mentioned it before. Data privacy is very important to us, making sure that we're safe and secure, making sure our systems are safe and secure. We actually had someone's password get compromised today, and someone in California tried to log into their webmail. Our systems caught it, stopped it, and made sure they didn't get in. So it's just an example of there's a reason we have security in place, and that is to protect us. And today it showed that it worked. Very happy for that. Supportive impact education daily. So everything my department does impacts our students on a daily basis, whether it's internet in the classroom, whether it's Chromebooks, whether it's teachers doing their technology, whether it's our safety and security with our cellular 911 badges, whether it's cameras, whatever it is, it's impacting our students, making sure they're safe, secure, they're getting the instruction they need, they're getting the instruction that we as a district want them to receive. So that is the fourth top priority, and we do everything daily to make sure that happens. Have any questions? I'll be happy to answer.
I don't have any questions, but thank you for all that information, and thank you for the screen time information, because that has been a big topic, but I think you answered it clearly and helped show that our district is working as a partnership with parents, teachers, and everyone. So thank you for that, Jeff.
You are welcome.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Jeff. Very good. Appreciate it. Okay, I think that takes us up to Mr. Moulton, Mr. Rick Moulton, our Transportation Director. I think his phone was pretty busy that first day of school on drop off and pick up, but I think by Friday we got it lined out pretty good, didn't we?
I'll kind of bring you up to date on that. I bet the first day of school starting about 2:30, the phone started ringing, and Rita had her cell phone in this hand, her desk phone in this hand, and the radio in front of her, and I was the same way. So I think we probably had around 100 phone calls the first day, you know, kids getting lost, you know, and getting off at wrong places. The second day, we had 3. So it works itself out. It just takes time, you know, when everybody realizes, hey, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be there. And but it's smoothed out a lot, you know. In fact, I was just looking at her and I was like going, this is probably not right, but it worked out really good for us. So let me give you, I'll bring you up to date on some stuff from last year. Last year we averaged 1,800 miles a day, and that was that we were moving buses up and down the roads. And that was with 114 bus routes. Now, some of that also includes inactivity trips, you know, going different places and stuff like that. But, you know, when, you know, people don't think that we move that many people, we move a lot of kids. And it's a big job. But it seems to work itself out. You know, I got a lot of good drivers, and they stick in there and they hang in there with me, and they're usually willing to do just about anything to make sure that the kids are going up and down the road. This year, we have purchased 3 2026 Collins buses. They are on Chevy chassis. These Collins, they are 14 passenger buses. And the reason that I was looking at 14 passenger buses, because you do not have to have a CDL to drive a 14 passenger bus. So where we are, we have 8 passenger vans and Suburbans and stuff like that. You know, you go buy a Suburban, you're talking $70,000. These buses cost us $101,000, $624 a piece, for a total of $304,872. So when I have a small group going somewhere, come and get this bus, it's there. You can get them in white or yellow. I chose the yellow because the yellow can be used on routes, white can't. So I can use them both ways. And I think that will help us and alleviate a lot of problems of you can't find 8 passenger vans anymore. They're all above 8, and that's against the law for us to use. So that's the reason that I thought it was best to go with the 14 passenger vans to alleviate some of the white fleet. And we still have that. We can still use it. But I think a lot of the coaches are excited about the 14 passenger vans. And so that's one way that we decided to go. Okay, CNG conversion. It's up on the board. I could talk about this all day long and try to explain it to you, but you have to see it in order to really realize the big project it is. The paperwork and everything that I've been seeing, it's $2.7 million, and it didn't cost us anything. That's the good part about it, okay? So I called Hudson. She came over and took a lot of pictures for me. And so I decided that I would probably try to make out a PowerPoint for you. So this is the compressor and storage vessel. This sits at the end on the south side of our building. And the white tubes are the storage. You can't see the compressors right there. They're the gray ones back there in the back, but they're huge. I don't know how loud this is going to be whenever it's going. That's what I'm waiting to see. There will be a fence around this to maintain safety for everybody, okay? So I took a few pictures of it just so you could see. There's another picture of it back off. It's kind of in the same area. Okay, this right here. You can see the compressors back there in the back. All this concrete work. Dr. Robinson called me up one day and said, hey, I got a bad deal. You got to spend this $100,000. And I said, okay, I don't have any problem with that. Call me any day that you want me to do that. So we poured another section of concrete there. We poured that section and then a little bit in front of Boyd's shop over there. And I think it was $90,000 is what it ended up. So the concrete is making a big difference in our lot. It has cut down on a lot of things. I think the brakes don't get wore out as much from the dust and everything that's there. So I just wanted you to see that's what that looked like. Okay, this right here, the city just came. That's the electrical panel for our whole CNG project. The city came in, approved that the other day, green flagged it, gave it to us, and so that the electrical panel there will control everything. They are supposed to be in this week. OG&E is supposed to be in this week, bringing the electrical power into us. The blue poles, those are all there's one pole will service 2 buses, okay? And these poles, whenever I took this, last week she took this and everything, the lines are not on there yet. So, but the lines are on there now, okay? And I'll kind of show you what those look like. Let's see, okay, there are the lines. You can see they hook to the poles. When a bus comes in, they reach up there and they grab one of those lines and they pull it, and they walk down there, and that hose will go from 20 to 30 foot, all depending upon the size that they, and it hooks into the side of the bus, and it fills the bus up. It is a slow fill, not a fast fill on those. So that compressor compresses all that. It sends all that gas out to those buses, and overnight it fills their tanks. Now, will they need to hook up every night? No, because they can probably go 3 days, 4 days without that, without hooking up. So when they come in, they see that they're low, they hook up, fill their tank. Those have quick disconnects in case somebody doesn't disconnect it before they get in their bus and back out. That's my number one deal. And believe me, it'll happen. Okay, this is another section. These hoses have been put on there. The bollards right there are to protect people from running into those poles. Another section, this is on the south end. Okay, let's talk about the minibuses. Chevrolet minibuses are hard to convert over to CNG from the standpoint that there is no place to put the compressed tank. Now, what a lot of schools are doing is they're taking out a back row and putting it inside. I told them, no, we weren't doing that. I don't want any part of that. If they mounted it underneath, they only have 9 inches from the bottom of the tank to the pavement. That's not enough. Don't want that either. So we're just going to go ahead and run on gasoline on those. It's just around town. They're not on the highway a whole lot. So I just think it would be safer if we went ahead and ran gas. I talked to Dr. Robinson about it. We both feel the same on that. So those will not get converted. All of our diesel buses are converted, except for maybe a couple spares that I'm not sure are going to be around very long, and I don't want to convert those. That's it. So, anybody have any questions? Oh, they came in today. They have dug the holes because they have to connect the compressor to all of those lines. And there are 4 lines. And so they will be boring that sometime this week or the first part of next week to bore those and everything. The gas meter has not been set yet, but that won't take long. And there's not much distance for that to go. So, any questions?
You, Rick. Appreciate it. I know there's a lot of logistics to that morning and evening every day. I know it is, but thank you for what you do for us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for what you do for Enid Public Schools.
It'll work in the next month?
Do what?
Think you'll have that going in the next month?
Yes, I would think we would have it going in a couple weeks, maybe. From this company, they do a lot of other schools, so it's kind of been like, let's go work 3 days here, and then let's go work 3 days here, and and so it's kind of stretched out on it and everything. But I'm okay with it. So, okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, last and certainly not least is Mr. Mills. Mr. Mills is going to come up here and talk to us a little bit about sporting passes as we enter the season of activities. As you guys know, softball, volleyball, football is right around the corner. And ask Mr. Mills to talk a little bit about the process of accessing these all sports passes and also the Go Fan. So I'll turn it over to him.
Okay, thank you for having me. You should have a few handouts there with you. I'm going to go over this first one, which says all sports pass at the top. These prices have not changed since a year ago. And basically what they are is an adult can buy that and get into all of our events, all of our Enid Public Schools events for the entire year, middle school all the way through high school. And then if you're an EHS student, it's $30, and you can make that up pretty quick by buying that $30 to get into all the events. We've put this out on social media, and all you have to do is scan the QR code. It goes to GoFan, and you can purchase those things on there. The second one is the football ticket information, and we have lowered prices $1, I believe, on all of these for the gate. And you can see just to get into the game, $10 for adults, $7 for kids. But if you buy it on GoFan, you save $1. All of those have been reduced $1 for this year. Season tickets are still $75, and then for a reserved seat, and then $15 for each game. You can see also all the different passes that we honor, and there's some that we still learn about every year that people have purchased through the years that we will always take a look at. And then the last one is just the prices for all of our events, which will include the football prices, but then also you got volleyball and softball, and then also the middle school as well. And all those can be purchased on the GoFan app, and so they can purchase them before they get there, and then they can show them to the people running the gates there. And I know there are some people that still want to do cash, and so we're able to do that as well. And so, is there any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Mills? Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you updating us all on that. Okay. Thank you, directors, for being here tonight and updating all of us. I certainly appreciate that. That'll take us to item F, and that's something that we need to talk about, and that is the vacant board seat on the board seat number 4. And as we mentioned earlier in the board meeting, Reverend Joe Blackwood has resigned as a board member after 6 years of service, and we're very appreciative of him and his time and energy and effort that he spent supporting our students in school. But now we need to publicly acknowledge that we do have a vacancy, and that is the point of listing it tonight. Anyone that has interest in replacing Reverend Joe Blackwood out of Ward 4, just reach out to Dr. Robinson or myself. We've got 60 days to appoint a new board member, and we've still got plenty of time within that 60-day window to get this done. But again, anyone, if you'd like to pass that information along, reach out to Samurai, and we're currently in the process of getting candidates to our board president. So no action is needed, but I just needed to say that publicly. Okay. Go to item G, which is an action item, and everyone should have a handout. And this is just to keep us in compliance with state law, House Bill 3958. We have to have all of our possible communication platforms approved by the Board of Education. Tonight we need to add Presto Assistant, and that is used by our band students for our band directors to communicate with their band students. So happy to answer any questions, but again, this is to keep us compliant and following state law, and I certainly seek your approval.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Matt. Is there a second?
Second.
Tori makes the second. Any questions, comments, or discussion? We'll vote. Chad Matt.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tenius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tori Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long. Yes.
Thank you, board members, for that approval. We will get that implemented ASAP. That takes me to item H, and that is just a discussion item, but everyone does have a handout in front of you, and that is our current student enrollment numbers. Now, as of today, we are currently at 6854, and as you can see in the bottom row, how it compares to last year at this time, the year before that, and the year before that. So it's very clear to see that we have lost students to student enrollment. Our enrollment is down compared to years past. A couple things I'd like to say about that, though. We've got over 100 pending enrollments still were being processed right now, so I do anticipate us getting some more students. We will lose some more students. I think this usually settles down about Labor Day, so a couple more weeks we'll have a better grasp on our student enrollment. And I was at the OSSBA conference, like I said earlier, and I talked to Dr. Heim. I said, hey, Dr. Heim, our enrollment's down a little bit. And he just smiled and he said, Dudley, everybody's enrollment's down. He said, statewide, our enrollment numbers are down. And I said, well, what's going on? What's the deal? And he told me something. I actually researched it and verified it. 6-7 years ago, our state birth rates started going down. Sean Heim said that years ago, whenever he was a superintendent here, that the state was averaging about 50,000 students per grade level across the state. So 50,000 seniors, 50,000 seventh graders, kindergartners, et cetera. The last 7 years, the Oklahoma birth rates are averaging around 47,000. So we're not having as many babies in Oklahoma. So therefore, we're having less students in Oklahoma. So again, board members, you may not want to know all that information, but this number is something that Dr. Robinson and I and Jane, we always track this number daily, and I will continue to report this to you. I think we're in a great shape staffing-wise, and I just want to make sure everyone's aware of it. Okay, no questions. I'll move on to item I. I think Mark Ray's got a short video to start playing for you. We've got a little time-lapse video of our progress out at Eisenhower. You can kind of see the dirt work that's being done there. That's being a little picture every day that's showing the progress that's being done out there, which there has been a lot of dirt work and a lot of work done. One other thing I'd like to update you about as you're watching that is Dr. Robinson and I had a very good meeting about 10 days ago at the Department of Defense, kind of a quarterly update, touch base meeting. They were very complimentary of our progress. They were very complimentary of everything that we're doing. And we continue to report back to them, as you guys know. And then also, as I said last month, the funding is going very well. We're receiving our funds from the Department of Defense, so everything is transpiring very nicely. And I would like to say something publicly that continues to kind of pop up to my ear, or in my ear, is there is a misconception out there that our kids don't have recess and they don't have an area to have recess at Eisenhower. Now, yes, as you just saw, there's a lot of construction going on and the square footage of recess is down. But I spoke to Mr. Bloom last week, and he's got two tether balls set up. He's got a gaga pit, a 4 square painted on the area, a 9 square has been ordered, basketball nets, and I even think he's got a volleyball net too. Also, the gym is able to be accessed for recess throughout the day too. So I just want to publicly say that yes, we have lost, as you notice, we've lost some recess area, but adjustments are being made. And again, we're making sure that we're taking care of the kiddos, but things are moving right along. Sam, anything on the construction end? Everything good? Board members, any questions on Eisenhower? Okay. I believe that takes me to item J, I believe. And that is just a quick reminder that we have the Great Land Run that will happen between now and our next board meeting. That's going to be Saturday, September 12th. And again, that is just such a wonderful event. All funds go to Enid Public Schools. That is, again, it's becoming a community event, and we appreciate everyone being involved with donations and participants running. It's been well over $500,000 been donated to our school over the years. So again, it's just a wonderful event. I encourage everybody to come out if at all possible, and that's at Redbird Farms, north of town, on Saturday, September 12th. And then the last item for me on the superintendent's report is the last handout. And I don't have data to report to you. I just want to publicly say this year feels different. And I feel like we've just had an outcry of support. We've had so many people help us with school supplies. The World Harvest event for our teachers was wonderful. And again, there's a list of many people that have given to our schools and our staff to help support our kick off the school year. And again, I can't compare this to last year or 2 years ago, but we've just had an outcry of community support helping us get this school year started off. And I just want to say publicly thank you, and we're going to push that on social media tonight. It's a community effort, and we are so appreciative and so grateful. And Board President, that wraps up the superintendent's report.
And that leads us to regular business. 4A, discussion and possible action to approve the following consent agenda items, A1 through A11. Any board member want to remove one of those for further discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Dr. Kim Tenius makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Chad Mance seconds it. Questions, comments, or discussion? We'll vote. Chad Mance.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tenius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tori Turnbow,
Yes.
Matt Sampson,
Yes.
Randy Long, yes. And that is approved. That leads us to item 4B, discussion and possible action to approve the district financial report for July 2026. Dr. Robinson.
Well, July financials are pretty boring because we haven't done the estimate of needs. We haven't done a lot of money hasn't come in yet. State aid doesn't crank up till August. But we did, as I mentioned in the last board meeting, we did end the FY26 on a good footnote. And so far, our numbers are exceeding where we were at in July of 2025 and July 2026. And so I would say we're on a good trend line to continue down the path we're on. If there's any specifics you want on the very small July budget, we can talk about it.
Any questions for Dr. Robinson? Entertain a motion to approve the district financial report for July 2026.
Motion to approve.
Matt Loman makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Tori Turnbow makes the second. Questions, comments, or discussion? We'll vote. Chad Mann.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tinius.
Yes.
Matt Loman.
Yes.
Tori Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long, yes. And that item is approved. 4C, discussion and possible action to approve the contract with Henson Construction as the construction manager at risk for the construction of a new practice gym at Waller Middle School with a guaranteed maximum price of $1,890,677 to be paid through the building fund and/or a lease purchase to be presented at the September 21st, 2026 board meeting. Dr. Robinson.
There is a handout in front of you guys that kind of shows the gym. We've been talking about this project for a year. Had some hang-ups architecturally because we had to add a storm shelter to the gym itself. Then we had another little hang-up because the soil around Waller is really soft. And so we were hoping this would be about a $1.2 million project. As you can see, it's almost a 1.9. But it's one of those projects that I think Waller needs to have 3 gyms. And we also have a weight room that is upstairs that we need to move downstairs. So really and truly, Waller is going to end up with 2.5 gyms with this project, with a good space up top for possible archery and other sports that don't require a gym space. So to me, this is something good for kids, good for our school district, good for Waller. And even though it's a little bit more on the budget, I think we're still in a good financial position to do this. On the lease purchase side of this, I kind of want to say the lease purchase, while it might cost us some interest, I don't know quite where that lies just yet. It will keep us cash flow positive. Remember, the building fund doesn't really get a big influx of money into it until December. So in order to kick this project off, continue taking care of things, because the building fund is also financing the Eisenhower project. We do get reimbursed, but remember, it's a reimbursement. So we need to keep cash up front in the building fund to pay for this project, and doing a lease purchase on it will allow us to maintain that positive cash flow well before December, and in it for any unknowns. And I want to go back to the unknowns. Enid High's unknown was the auditorium. 2 weeks before we had convocation in there, we had 4 AC units go out. We ended up replacing 6 for $120,000. It's nice to have the cash. It's nice to be able to do those things, and that's part of the reason for the lease purchase, to maintain that positive cash. And the long-term financials appear that we can afford to make that lease purchase payment down the road. So again, that might be an action item that comes to you guys in September on a lease purchase.
So that part of that price increase was a safe room or a storm-proof room?
A safe room for storm. And then we'll also much larger increase in concrete, because we have to go almost 10 feet down with footings. When a normal building's about 3, we have to go 10 feet down to keep that gym from pushing the other gym over with the soft dirt. Not saying there's any danger, nothing like that.
Sure.
Just the weight of the building, they want to put those footings in there, and we want to make sure. I'm not an engineer, so we need to do it the way they tell us to do it.
Just out of curiosity, how many people will that safe room accommodate?
It is over 90 students that it can fit in there, and that's giving each student over 3 feet of space. So okay. I'm gonna say technically, you could put 200 in there if you really needed to squeeze them in there.
All right.
I want to just add on one more thing, and I alluded to this when we were talking about Eisenhower. with our funding that we're receiving from the Department of Defense, just as Sam said, this is really allowing us to do some of these smaller projects. I mean, still large projects, but now that Eisenhower's going and if things are going well, this is allowing us much more freedom district-wide.
That's great. Entertain a motion.
Move we approve.
Second.
Tory Turnbow makes the motion, Matt Sampson seconds it. Any questions, comments, or discussions before we vote? We'll vote. Chad Matt.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tinius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tory Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long, yes, and that item passes. 4D, discussion and possible action to approve the contract with United Turf and Track, Arcadia, Oklahoma, for the installation of a new synthetic turf infield located at the Enid High School track practice field for $727,295. Dr. Robinson.
So here's a project that came in under budget. So I haven't talked a lot about the budget for this because I think sometimes when I talk about budgets, it kind of cues people up to say, maybe this is what we can bid something at. So really, I thought this project would come in at about $950,000. As you can see, it came in at $727,000. United Turf was not the low bid. There is a statute in Oklahoma law that allows for a local company, if they are within 5% of the low bid and they are willing to match the low bid, that we can take them. The low bid was an out-of-state turf company. United Turf is out of Arcadia, and so they were willing to match the low bid. They were within 4.5% of the low bid, so they matched it. They met the 5% rule. I think it's just important for you guys to know that in case it ever gets questioned by somebody. They are the low bid because they moved their price to the low bid price. And so there is, in your handout on the back page, there is kind of a drawing there of what we have for the turf project. Somebody might ask why we're not turfing what is called the D zone on the south end of the track. The north end of the track already has the high jump pit, which has track material on it. The south end D zone is a little more complicated. It's where our shot put ring is. And so when you go to drawing in shot put rings, moving long jump pits, the long jump pits run along the east side of the track, it can start to limit your number of bidders who are willing to take on the job. And so now that we know we came in under budget, I am working with United Turf and Track to actually get the south end turfed with a new shot put ring and possibly relocating the long jump pits, which you'll see as a PO at some point in time to take that cost in. I'm hoping it's under $100,000. We'll kind of see where that all falls. But the plan is that there's no grass on the infield of the track by the time we're all done with this project.
All right, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Matt Lohman makes the motion, Tory Turnbow seconds it. Oh, Chad. See, I was doing so good. Chad Mance makes the motion, Tory Turnbow seconds it. Any further questions, comments, or discussion? We'll vote. Chad Mance.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tinius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tory Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long, yes. That leads us to items 4E and F, and we're going to take those together.
I would suggest taking them together because they're both related.
Board member has an objection. We're going to take those together. Hearing and seeing none. Item E, discussion and possible action to approve a resolution authorizing the leasing of certain real property to the Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority and authorizing the president, clerk, and superintendent to execute any and all documents related to the ground lease agreement and the transaction. Item F, discussion and possible action to approve a resolution authorizing the acceptance of a sublease agreement whereby the Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority will sublease certain real property improvements thereto to the district and authorizing and directing the president, clerk, and superintendent to execute any and all documents related to the sublease agreement and the transaction. Dr. Robinson.
All right, let's talk about what that all means. So this all really goes back to 2016 when the district passed a very large bond. It was through the Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority. And that bond can be called within 10 years. So we've hit that 10-year mark of 2026. The bond really has an expiration date of 2031. So we have 5 years left on the repayment, and we repay the Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority. So we're really authorizing, as a board, that we're authorizing Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority to do this. So they're doing all the work on our behalf, knowing we're going to pay them back. What's happened is we've reached a place where we can actually refinance the 2016 bond money that's still left for repayment. Much like a house refinance, when interest rates change, somebody might say, well, weren't interest rates really low in 2016? That was a historical low point of interest rates was 2016, and now we're in a market where interest rates seem higher. Well, that's true, but there's something called, and I'm using terms that I really am not real clear on, but I'm telling you what I've been told. There's a thing called a premium, and a banker can probably explain this a lot better than I can, but there's a premium that we had to pay on 2016 because the bond people were like, well, interest rates are so low, we're not going to make any money on this. So you have to pay a premium on top of that low interest rate. Well, that premium goes away, the interest rate goes up, and there's an ability for the district to have somewhere between $800,000 and a little over $1 million come to us next September. Through this refinance. It really won't be realized money until next September when we have to pay back the Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority. And so it's refinancing, it's bankers math, that's what I call it. It's layman's terms. A banker might get mad for me saying that. But it has to do with how that interest is calculated, how that repayment is. There is no change to our taxpayers' millage. There's no cost to the district. There's only a gain. We're going to gain money to do another building project with somewhere between $800,000 and a little over $1 million. Don't know that amount yet because you don't, as you guys know, when we sell bonds, there's always that interest rate that comes with it. So depending on what that interest rate is, what somebody's willing to give us the money for, that's where our money coming back to us. This is a one-time deal. This does not happen at all. I mean, it's a real rarity. We just happen to fall into a place where our repayment is at a certain point, interest rates are at a certain point, and where our premium was back in 2016 was at a pretty high point. So we're just granting the authority for Garfield County Educational Facilities Authority to do that. Again, I think it's really important to state there is no change in the millage. There is no change in the cost of repayment, except for we're going to get that realized savings back that one time. And again, does that pay for a Waller gym? Maybe it does. Does it pay for another project that we have on the horizon? It possibly does. We'll know more in a year when that happens. So again, layman's term, we're really just helping approve the process of refinancing the 2016 bond that was sold in.
I want to jump in real quick. Speaking of layman's terms, so I saw Ron Fisher at the conference, and Ron explained it much like Sam, and I didn't understand it. And he said, Dudley, Enid's flush. Do you understand that? I said, yes, sir, I understand that.
You can understand
We
that.
understand flush. So that's what he said Saturday morning to me. So this is a really good thing.
Okay, we're going to take 4E and F together. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Dr. Kim Tenius makes the motion. Is there a second? Matt Lohman seconds it. Any further questions, comments, or discussion? We'll vote. Chad Mance.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tenius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tori Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long, yes. And those two items, E and F, are approved. That leads us to item 5, new business. We don't have any. Item 6, reports, items of information, board comments, and/or questions. And Colonel Jans couldn't be with us, so we'll miss his comments. Does any board member have any questions or comments? Questions or comments? We'll move to item 7, next regular meeting, September 21st, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Administrative Services Center Boardroom, 500 South Independence, Enid, Oklahoma. Item 8, discussion, then possible action to approve a proposed executive session in room 123 to discuss the employment of those individuals and/or positions listed on attached Exhibit A and Exhibit B, negotiations concerning employees and/or representatives of employee groups, and possible purchase, appraisal, sale, lease, or acquisition of real property. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Chad Mance makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Tori Turnbow makes the second. We'll vote. Chad Mance.
Yes.
Dr. Kim Tenius.
Yes.
Matt Lohman.
Yes.
Tori Turnbow.
Yes.
Matt Sampson.
Yes.
Randy Long, yes. We are in executive session at 7:09.
Sir.